Buzzworthy Radio is on. The entertainment show that gets you up close and personal with today's hottest stars. Here's your host, Nabel J. Lee.
Hey guys, it's Nabel J. Lee, and welcome into a new Buzzcast here at Buzzworthy Radio. I had the chance to sit down and speak with Gina Torres, who stars as Jessica Pearson on the hit USA show Suits, but you'll also be seeing her on the ABC show Revenge as Natalie Walsh. She gave us a little inside scoop into the character. Well, let me change that. She gave us a hint about the character. And we also got to talk about how she wound up getting into the Hamptons. We also find out a little bit of what we can expect in the second half of the season of Suits, which premieres on January 28th at 10/9 Central. But right now, here it is, our interview with Gina Torres. Check it out. It seems that we're going to be in for a wild one this go-around, and this is the second half. So
yes.
Louis is getting lit up even more from
yes, indeed.
From how it ended. He's getting lit up even more. So it's gonna be interesting to see what transpires and how Jessica is going to handle all of that.
Oh, she's going to handle it in her Jessica Pearson way, in what has become her signature dance. Coolly, collectively. She's a chess player. I think we've established that. We've proven that. We've seen it. We love it. We don't, just when you think she's not really paying attention. She surprises you with something.
She is one of those women that you can just basically watch and be like, there is no one that's going to be able to walk over her. Many have tried, and then she just winds up walking over them and those spiked heels of hers. And
yes.
That's just basically what it is. She's known for basically just taking you down and just smiling when doing it.
Absolutely. Well, you probably deserve it. I mean, it's why we enjoy it so much. If you're crossing her, then you have to be prepared.
Yeah. Now, for those of you and spoiler alert for those who hadn't seen it, because I know some tend to catch up with it on demand and stuff like that, but for those of you who have not heard, tune out right now. But we last left off, Louis found out about Mike and how he managed to get into Pearson-Hardman, and that's not good. That's not good.
It's not good, because as devious as Louis can be, you can't argue that he's a purist. He talks about that. He talks about bleeding crimson and maintaining the pedigree of the firm and all of that. And so, but he's also the odd guy out, and he just wants so desperately to be, in with the in crowd. And
I was going to say that.
Perceived as an equal. So it's hurtful to him on so many levels, and I'm sure Rick could speak of this more. What the level of betrayal it is that he's feeling. So what he unleashes onto the firm and all of us in it is really rough. I mean, everybody just has to hold on, because he becomes impossible. And I just remember going from one script reading to the next, like every week, just we as a cast, and like, why haven't we just pushed him down a flight of stairs and just put us all out of our misery? I mean, it's really just, it's awful. But I've said this before, and at the risk of repeating myself and sounding like someone who doesn't have anything new to say about it, it really is, for me, it is such a study, and now somebody's calling me on the other line, so please try to ignore that. It's such a study for me on relationships. Mm-hmm. True relationships, everyday relationships, are complicated. When you love a complicated person, when you have a complicated person in your life, it's not as easy as just walking away.
Right.
You know, you have to sort of take everybody at where they are and their value, and it's really quite a beautiful dance that we all do, that the writers have created for all of these very complicated characters, because we do value each other and we do care for each other, and we're willing to see the flaws, realize that nobody's perfect.
True.
And move on.
Is that
not perfect?
Is that how you would describe Jessica's relationship with Harvey?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think we more than said that, during that very and I had a hard time with it as well. I had to talk to Aaron, of course, who's our creator.
Mm-hmm.
There was he was wonderful about it, because it really took me all season, and I think maybe part of the next season, to forgive him for his betrayal.
Yeah.
When he tried to take over the firm.
Take over the firm, yeah.
And I knew it wasn't going to be an easy fix. It wasn't something that should, he does this, and then, by 3 episodes in, okay, we're good.
Right. It's not believable.
It's not believable. And, any of us know that when you choose to stay in a relationship, and this is any relationship, this is a friendship, this is a marriage, this is, whatever it is, when you choose not to walk away but you've been hurt, stuff pops up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to address it. You start smelling the napalm all over again. And it's really nice that that Aaron and the writers in the writers' room aren't afraid to address the napalm. Mm-hmm. And they did a great job with that. With Mike and Rachel, I think, this season.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that happens. We're going to see a lot of that with Louis. We saw some of that with Jessica and Harvey. So that's my favorite part about the show, is that you're really watching a very intricate dance between personalities and conflict, and how they deal with each other and the conflict that arises.
Yeah. It's just one of those shows where you kind of just sit there and you always wonder, you don't think that they're going to be able to pull out something that's going to stun the audience, but then all of a sudden here comes this thing, and then it's just basically like, damn, now I can't wait till the next episode. And of course they say, we won't be back until summer of 2015. And I'm like, really?
Right. Sorry.
I just love how they're able to keep us all invested and interested in all these characters that we have watched all these years, and all of you are playing them so well. And you pretty much answered the question I was leading into, is just like, how can this show still be as vital and as important and as fresh as it is? And you pretty much hit it on the head. These characters are just, what's the word I want to use?
What is the word you want to use?
These characters are intricate to each other, and then there's another part of a story that unfolds within said characters that affects everyone else.
Exactly.
And case in point, which with the whole Mike thing, now with Louis finding out and then everybody else knowing about it except for him.
Right.
How is everybody else going to deal with the fact that he now knows about it and now he wants to take action against it?
Yes, and it's so beautifully crafted, because of course Louis is the last to know. Mm-hmm. And now that audience members who have been invested in these characters for, if you've seen it from the beginning and it's been 4 years, or you've been binge watching for the last 6 months, this isn't good.
No, not at all. Not at all. When he's always been, as you said earlier, he was the odd man out, and he's always been trying to be accepted by everybody else. Because obviously, for those who have watched, you see the closeness that Jessica and Harvey have, and Louis kind of wanted some type of relationship similar to that.
Yes.
And he never really got it. You know, you kind of hear the words that, you know, he did a great job, he was accepted, but he never really felt that. None of the actions that were cast upon him from Jessica or Harvey, for that matter, showed that he was accepted. So, of course, this is going to make him pissed off.
Right.
And
my relationship to Louis, because I can see it from my side, from Jessica's side, is that it's never enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It would never be enough. Louis has a whole other set of issues.
Yes.
That he really needs, that we believe he's addressing on the couch 5 times a week. But he is that guy. It doesn't matter what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't believe it, or it wouldn't be enough, and it can't be enough, or maybe he'd believe it for a day or two, and then that dark cloud comes rolling right back in. So, and that's what I mean. He's so different and special, as is Harvey in his own. Everyone's wounded. And they all deal with it in a very different way, and I think we have that in common. I believe that's our commonality, is that we find community in our wounds.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And also, too, we got a little tease of this towards the beginning of this season. Jessica had a little bit of a love life.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of a love life. Will we see more of that?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Very good.
A little bit.
I'm like
poor
everybody
Jessica.
else. Everybody else is getting some, and she's not.
I know, right? Tragic. It's tragic. It's one of those things that I think the audience would love for her to have more of a life.
Yes, outside of the workplace.
Outside of her workplace. I think they would love to know what that really looks like. We didn't get a chance to see that, unfortunately, because her love life immediately started infringing on the workplace, and then chaos ensues, and there's all kinds of things going on. And we do address that. And again, I think it's something that is a real issue with women who are dedicated to their workplace, who have worked very, very hard to get to where they are, and they try to find space and time for those other things in their lives, because they realize very quickly, time's going by, and there's this whole other half of my life that I haven't even addressed yet. So I would love for more of that. I mean, I think she's probably very confident in her choices, but we see her really having to hunker down and have some time to herself and see, and address those choices that she's made over the years, and if they still work for her today.
All right. I'm looking forward to that, but I'm also looking forward to the fact that you're coming on to another one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
On Revenge.
Oh,
yes.
my God. How much fun is that?
I heard when I saw the casting news posted on TV Line, Andy Swift, love him to death. When I saw that posted in the morning, I literally was like, wait, what? And, I did one of those double takes because I saw that and I was like, well, how did this happen? And I was like so excited because you're popping up on this show, and this is like a perfect fit for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you think so. I think so too. I love that show. I've been watching that show from the beginning. There's no shame in my game about it.
There's no shame in my listen, honey. Many folk can tell you I'm on Twitter, let alone doing this. Most of the time, the word revenge comes out of my mouth 90% of the time. So whether I'm doing this on the phone talking to somebody or if I'm on Twitter, Revenge is pretty much the see all, hear all, be all, end all for me.